What is going on, people? We are giving you another video just talking about Michael Jordan. And was Michael Jordan really as dominant as they act like he was, as they say he was? 6-0 in the finals, right? Well, I'm going to tell you the things that they don't want to tell you about Michael Jordan. Okay? First of all, the Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls were not as dominant as people think they were. Let me explain. They were not able to win NBA championships until the NBA competition went south, till it went down. Think about this for a minute. In the 1980s, you had the Detroit Pistons, Bad Boy Pistons, Showtime Lakers. You had the Boston Celtics. You even had some other teams too, like the Sixers. You had some pretty good teams, right? Well, you might say, well, Jordan had his highest points per game in the 80s, more so than the 90s. And they still had Scottie Pippen. He came in 87, so they had him for three seasons throughout the 80s. So why were they not able to win? Were they not developed? They had the John Paxson, the B.J. Armstrong. They had these guys, right? I'm going to tell you why they couldn't win. It wasn't because Jordan wasn't dominant yet. It wasn't because the team wasn't developed yet. It's because the competition was too much for them. The competition was too much for Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls to handle at that time. So they had to be patient, wait until some of those guys left the league before they could start winning championships. In 91, they beat the Lakers in the NBA Finals. That was a Laker team with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retired and wasn't there anymore. Again, that was the all-time leading NBA scorer at that time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was a dominant center. With him gone, you could beat him in a series. With Larry Bird gone, you don't have to worry about the Celtics. With the Pistons, I do give them credit for winning that series because that Pistons had beaten them the previous year in 90. The Bulls beat them in 91, so they had developed enough. Now, that was an older Piston team, but not much older, because remember, they had won the NBA championship the season prior. So they should get full credit for winning that series, regardless of how you look at it. And that is probably I would give them more credit for that than even winning the finals in 91, just because you were playing against a Laker team that didn't have Kareem anymore, their most dominant center in NBA history at that particular time. You know, some would say Wilt is more dominant, but whatever. Kareem was the more consistent player. He played longer. He was the all-time leading scorer. He was winning more championships. I would go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They leave, now the Lakers can beat them. Now, before that, you didn't have to worry about them trying to beat the Lakers in the finals because the Bulls wasn't going to the NBA Finals. Because the Boston Celtics with Larry Bird and Kevin McHale and some of these other players were way too hard for you to beat. You wasn't strong enough to beat those guys, even with Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, even with the Michael Jordan, who one season, I think it was 88 or 89, it might have been 87, where he averaged 37 points a game. He did break his leg one of those seasons, and he missed. Now, don't get the wrong idea and think that I'm trying to spread some information to say Michael Jordan wasn't that good or he's over. You know, he is slightly overrated, because the reason why I say that is because people talk about Jordan, and I've heard people say he's done nothing but win. He was absolutely unstoppable. There was nothing you could do to contain him. He's the greatest of all time. Listen, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls wasn't winning anything until the Los Angeles Lakers had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retire and the Boston Celtics had Larry Bird retire and the Detroit Pistons had washed down a little bit. When the stronger teams' competition went down, if anything, the Bulls might have been less dominant at that time. They just had lesser competitive opponents. In 91, you beat the Lakers without Kareem. He retires. The following year, you play the Portland Trailblazers with Clyde Drexler and Clifford Robinson. That's a good team. That team is not great. That ain't the Lakers with Magic and Kareem. That ain't the bad boy Pistons. And that's definitely not the Showtime Lakers. So yes, you can win NBA championships when the competition looks like that. So no, Michael Jordan wasn't nearly as dominant as people act like he was. He was only dominant when the competition around the NBA got lower and the stronger, powerful teams like the bad boy Pistons, the Showtime Lakers, and Larry Bird and his Boston Celtics started losing players to retirement and injury. That is when you was able to start collecting rings. And let's not talk about Michael Jordan being a shooting guard and having the lowest three-point shootout score in NBA history with 5 points in 1990, something that nobody ever wants to talk about. Yes, I am telling you Michael Jordan was a great player. He was very polarizing. He was very popular. But to be the most dominant and unstoppable, that is absolutely untrue. Those Bulls were not a dominant, unstoppable team. They were able to win when the competition got lower.